Oh guys, welcome back. After a long hiatus, I'm finally back on YouTube. Today's topic is the most underrated weapons in Phantom Forces in every category, excluding revolvers and other. So for what we chose for the machine pistol category is PP2000. Now, I would have said 93R, but it got nerfed. Rest in peace. The only good machine pistol that I liked got nerfed. Big sad. But this gun, with retract stock, has a lot of aiming walk speed, and it's just like one of the only machine pistols with a slow fire rate besides like the ASMI, which is kind of high ranked, and this gun is like rank 30 something, I think, so it's pretty like easy to get if you're a low rank. And, just good damage, like sort of fire rate, and good swap speed as demonstrated here. This machine pistol's probably just like pretty chill, and you'll enjoy it a lot if you're a machine pistol kind of guy. Alright, so for number 9 we have the KG99. Now I only used like 3 different pistols and 1 revolver, so I used the 5.7 Gyrojet Mark 1 and the G50. Now this one might replace the 5.7 because I like to use a gun with a high fire rate in my secondary category when I snipe. So this gun just like steals that from the 5.7 and not the Zip because its damage is a little too low. But this gun just like better maximum damage than the 5.7, but less pen, better recoil though, and like I don't know, I just find it more satisfying and fun to use. Using a semi-auto Tech 9 is just a Chad move because you're not using the Burton skirt. You're using a little something more unique and respectable, and that's why we put it for the most underrated pistol, because why use this when you use the Tech 9? But I mean, I would use it because I don't like the Tech 9. Alright, so for number 7, we have... number 8. We have the G36C for the most underrated PDW. Now, there's a lot of underrated PDWs in the game. Like, you could have chose the Rama, or the X95R, or the UMP45, or the M3A1, but like, this gun is just sort of like, probably the most underrated. This gun just has a lot of mobility, and with a specific setup, you just become a ninja. Like, with this 12 kill streak that I get here, I'm using the AOTech 552. You want to use a sight with like a low magnification, 1.5x or maybe lower. Suppressor or PBS1 suppressor, angled grip, retract stock, and 300 blackout. This will make you like a complete ninja because you're not making a sound with the suppressor and 300 blackout. Their detection radius is just kind of insane. But, this gun we chose an underrated. I just like the amount of mobility that it has. If you're a person that likes to flank and like take the enemy by surprise, this gun is for you because it'll absolutely help you in those regards. And if you have a low attention span but like flanking, this gun's walk speed will help you out in that regard as well, unless you switch to your melee. But anyways, this gun just really worked well for me, especially when I was recording footage, and literally in my first game I get a 12 kill streak, which proves my point. So yeah, that's just kind of like what makes this gun special. Also, the PDW category is where I like the most, one of my most played categories. I like using all sorts of PDWs, and this one just I didn't use it as much as others. So, it's like an underrated weapon for me personally, too. Pretty, like, unique in that regard. And this is kind of dragging on a bit, so I'm just gonna, like, already keep showing the next clip. Alright, so for number 7, we've got the Scar HAMR. Now, the most underrated LMG, I'd say, is this, because this is footage from my, maybe the best gun in PF video from, like, a while ago, from July last year. But this gun still holds on to its spot as good because it wasn't nerfed in that time or changed significantly. It did get carbine barrel, which makes it better if you want a better headshot multiplier, so you can get better kills and better kills at long range, maybe, if you're hitting headshots. You have low enough recoil, which this gun kind of does. It's like a C7 with 100 rounds, as I put it in that video. You should watch it. It's from a while ago, but it still holds up, because this gun still kind of just performs the same. But anyways, I didn't choose the H-bar because the H-bar isn't really that good anymore. It does less damage than an M16A3. MG36, I already have the G36C on this list. I don't want to put two of the same gun on this list. And Colt LMG, I don't know, I just kind of find that gun boring, and it's sort of alright. Like, you unlock the M60, and this gun's just more fun. It's really nice. Alright, so for DMRs, I feel like the DMR category as a whole is underrated. So, but why did I choose the VSS Ventores? Because it's probably one of the best ones, besides what I think are the two best DMRs, the MK11 and the Scar SSR, reign supreme. This gun is also a really good option. Not a very common one, though. You can get extended mag. I'm not using that because I didn't buy it. Retract. This gun has a lot of attachments, and it's good in every situation. Like, it's good at close range because of the fast fire rate. It's good at medium range due to the recoil not being that bad. And then it's good at long range because it does good damage and it's a DMR. But yeah, that's why I chose the VSS Ventores for most underrated DMR. It's just kind of like the best in the situation that you put it in. It's sort of like a good gun to use. Alright, now for snipers, there's not a, for some reason, I see less sniper variety than I've had in the entire game. Like, you only see like 3 snipers used consistently. The Intervention, Remington 700, BFG, and maybe the NTW. But this gun, for most underrated sniper, I chose the AWS, because this gun got buffed, so the velocity is not trash anymore, and like, this gun just is maybe a little bit better than the K14 because it's faster, and I would have put the M1903 or some other gun in this, but I feel like the AWS just getting buffed is like something I'm excited to see, something I'm happy about. But a lot of snipers are underrated because, you know, this game's meta is just LMGs and shotguns, and those can just easily beat a sniper. If you're playing the game, if you know how to counter it. So, yeah, that's kind of just why I chose that. Alright, so for shotguns, most underrated is, of course, the SPAS 12. Not a lot of people that understand that it's kind of the best. I have kind of stopped caring about shotguns, except for the USAS that I pre-bought. That one was kind of fun. I just like destroying kids. I'm using pump action for some reason. This clip is from a while ago, but pump action is kind of reasonable if you want it in a good situation at long range. But this gun is playstyle, keep reloading, and it's a pretty fun playstyle to do because you'll always have ammo, and if you run out, it's kind of like really intense situation. This gun is just fun, like, straight up. No wonder my friend had 2,000 kills on it. This is ridiculous. Also, the long-range department, for you guys that care about long-range on shotguns, how dare you? Yeah, this gun kind of does good at long-range, as demonstrated here. So yeah, that's number 6. Alright, so number 5 is the HK417. What makes this gun good in the battle rifle category? Battle rifles are pretty rare and hard to come across. I only see, like, the AK-12BR sometimes, maybe sometimes the Scar H. But yeah, battle rifles are just criminally underrated like DMRs are. But the HK417 is probably the best one in the entire category, but not a lot of people know about it. It's basically Scar H long barrel, If you've watched my best and worst guns in each category, you know that I chose the Scar H because of its insane long-range damage due to it being able to three-shot past 150 studs, which was kind of broken. But they nerfed it, so this gun is just kind of what it replaces. You can put Squad Barrel on it for better range. But, like, I feel like the G3 just has... G3 is just, like, RNG if you hit a headshot. If you're using it in semi-auto, why not use the MSG90 or something? I feel like the new M14 is kind of, like, used by a lot of people, so it's not underrated. And I feel like the AK-12BR is cringe. But I realize that the FAL 50 is kind of a high rank. But yeah, that's kind of why I put this here. Alright, so for assault rifles, there's only a couple assault rifles that I would consider underrated. The rest are either just mediocre or sort of overshadowed by better ones. But this one sort of holds on to a specific niche that makes it underrated. It is quite high ranked, but it's of course the STG-44. Now, I was going to put the Type 20 on this list because the gun just appeared and the gun just like popped into existence randomly, and only a couple people used it that I've seen. But it's quite fun. But the STG is probably the second best assault rifle for long range engagements besides the G11. This gun can 3-shot at all range, but it has a slow fire rate, but I personally don't mind that. It helps conserve ammo. It's like using the MP40 M3A1, and it's pretty satisfying to use. And it's pretty unique too. You can get 5.56 conversion, but I wouldn't recommend using it only if you're playing King of the Hill. If you're playing any other game mode, just use the regular ammo type. You'll save yourself a headache, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the STG being good at long range. Alright, so for number 1, the most underrated weapon in the entire game of Phantom Forces is, drumroll please, the AK-12C. Well, everybody knew this, or maybe not everybody, but a lot of people probably saw it coming. What makes this gun so underrated? A lot of people don't feel like the AK-12C has a reason to exist because it's literally the 8th AK-12 variant. I would have agreed with you a year or so ago, but now I feel like it holds onto a niche, and that niche is Hyperburst. This gun still has Hyperburst. If you liked the old M4, or any gun that was good, like the RPK-12 when it had Hyperburst, you'll like this gun because it still has that. Also, this gun has both carbine and squad barrel. Even though it can already 2 to 3 shot head-on range, carbine barrel is still pretty troll on this gun because, having a higher headshot multiplier just means you can headshot more, but the recoil doesn't really make that viable, so maybe use squad barrel, which just gives it better long range. But, the Hyperburst just makes this gun really good. It has great damage for a carbine, so if you're using it on auto, you'll have a lot easier time controlling the weapon. But if you're a Hyperburst god like me, you can absolutely demolish an entire team in a couple of seconds. Like in 30 seconds, you can get 8 kills in 30 seconds. That's kind of like what this gun can do with the Hyperburst. Well, that's it, really. That's it. If you watched till the end, thank you for being such a Chad. Please like, please comment, subscribe, or don't. But please do it. It's free, and you can unsub at any moment if you don't like me. I just wanted to spread my knowledge, enlighten people. Peace.